All right. Hi everyone. So let's continue with our MLF journey. Till now, what we had seen, some components required for machine learning operations, such as Git. Okay. Thereafter, we had seen the streamlit that is used for model deployment or creating the UI when we want to deploy a model. And then we had also seen the model development, right? Model development. And after the model development, we had saved our model as a pickle file, that is a model file. And then after we did what? We just deploy this or use this pickle file for the final deployment with the UI. Okay, final deployment with the UI. Okay, so that is the generic way that we perform. But if you are going to productionalize your model, okay, if you want to put your model into the production, okay, so in that case, it's not your approach should be slightly different. Okay, it is not like that you can create a IPYNB file and from that you will just have the pickle file and can deploy it, right? We follow a process which is called modularizing your code. Okay, what we do, we modularize your code, we modularize our code and then we use it for the production environment. Now, what is modularizing? It's like creating the small package for each process that we want in our project. Okay, whatever the process, for example, let's say I am going to create an e-commerce platform. So our e-commerce platform will have what? Our e-commerce platform will have certain things like products. Okay, will have users, will also have orders. Okay, these things will be there for e-commerce, right? So the if you are a beginner, what do you do? Just write a single script in which you put all these things. That makes your code very messy. Okay, it can be a kind of a code which will be very difficult to debug, very difficult to understand, and when we get some error, when we get some problem, it will be very difficult to identify. Testing will be affected a lot in the operation. When we try to deploy, a lot of challenges may be there, right? So what do? We just break down the code into small portions. Like, this is your project which can be considered as a main package, and then we create the sub package over here for each purpose. Like product, there can be one sub package, this thing can be one sub package, orders can be one sub package. In this way, there will be your individual room for each particular entity in your project. Your project is having multiple parts. In data science, you will have data analysis, you will have data pre-processing, you will have model preparation, you will have model saving, right? So in data science project or machine learning also, we have multiple parts. So instead of writing the one code in which everything we include what we do, we break down the code into small packages, and that is called what? Modularizing your code. Okay, so whenever we want that the user's needs over here, the product information, user can import it and can use it. Whenever orders required, orders can be imported and use it. You are already using the modules in your program. When you write import numpy as np, right? So what numpy is there? Numpy is basically the module. Okay, this is what module. Module means what? This is created by someone, okay, and uploaded to PyPy, and we just installed it from the PyPy, and then now we are using it, right? So this is what? This is called module. Now onwards, we are going to create our own module. Okay, now we will work on something which will, with the help of which we will create our own module, and modules once we create that will become reusable, right? Because NumPy is what? Reusable. So in product, if I write few lines of code in products, it is going to be what? Reusable, right? Whenever I want to use it, I can use it. I want to, like, suppose the product, some part of the code of the product I require in users, I can import that part of the code in users and can use it, right? So modularization or packaging helps us in what? In, first of all, creating your dividing the code into small parts which will be easy to debug. Second, it will help us in creating the reusable code, right? And third, it can also help us in kind of organizing the code, okay, in a better way which will be easier to debug. All right, so that is the purpose of packaging and modularizing. Now we will explore the same thing practically. Okay, So to explore the same thing practically, what we do, we will take a case study. We'll just try. I just mentioned a initial case over here. Let's say I will have a package A. All right, this is my package A. Package A means what? The parent package also you can consider package A. In this package A, I can have the files like f1.py, f2.py. So you don't have to do any other thing. You have to just create a Python file. Right. Now, how other files will consider these things as a file of package or these things as a modules. Okay. These will be considered as what? These are the files which are created within a package will be considered as what? Modules. Okay, we call it modules, right? Now, every package needs to have one mandatory file which is called init.py. When you create init.py, it can be blank. Later on, we'll write something into it, but initially, let's keep it blank. The first file, init.py, these files will have some logics, right? Now, if there is any other file over here, let's say, okay, let me just create a file over here. This file is the name of this file. Let's give it a name as my file.py. Okay, so what I can do, I can just import these modules like this from package A, import what? F1. Okay, like this. Okay, and then I can trigger whatever the logic I have used over here. I can use that logic in this particular file, which is my file.py. I can also create a sub package over here. Okay, let's say sub package A1. Okay, sub package A2. Rule is still same. These guys will also have init.py, init.py. Okay, and then we can have other files like f3.py, f4.py. Okay, these things can be there. Then if I have to import these files over here, how can I import it? I have to write over here from package A dot subpackage A1, subpackage A1, import F3. Okay, this is how I can import it. Okay, so this is the practice. This is a kind of a small exercise we are going to perform. So let's continue with our VS Code to perform this exercise and see how these things actually works. All right. So what I did in VS Code, I just created a folder over here. The name of the folder is what? The name of the folder is packaging demo. All right. So this is a folder in my D drive. I just did over open folder. All right, and then here packaging demo is there. I just open it. So this is a blank folder. Okay, now what I do, I'll create a folder over here and I'll give it a name. Let's say package A. All right, now what I do, how can I consider this thing as a package A? This thing can be package A if this guy will have one important file that is called init.py. All right. Okay. Now, when this thing is having init.py, now this particular folder will be considered as a package, right? Now we can create multiple files within it. Like for example, let's say a file1.py, okay, and then file2.py. Okay. Now let's say file1.py. I'll write something over here. What should I write? I can just write it over here. Let's say def uh, my function. All right, and then I'll just return this is an output from file1.py. All right, now I'll just save this thing and I'll just paste it over here. So you can see I'm using the same function, okay, but in two different files. I'm returning two different things. Okay, now what do you do? In file 1, this is what. In file 2, I have this one. Okay. Now what do? I'll just create one more file that is outside this package. Okay, outside this package, I'll create a file over here. Let's say it is getting created over here only. Let me just create it over here, new file. Okay, and here I'll give it a name test file dot py. Okay, so what I told you, I am having over here a package named package A. All right, this guy is having a package A. All right, this package A is having T3 files init dot py and file1.py and file2.py. Okay. In these things, I wrote some logic. Now, these codes are reusable, can be used anywhere. So here I create one new file. The name is what? Testfile.py. Okay. So here I have to write the script. Okay. So as I created a package, within the package we have the modules. The two modules, file 1 and file 2. So what I do, I'll just import from package A, import file1.py. All right. Or just import file one. No, py is not required, right? Now I can do what, I'll just write over here file one dot what's the function? My function. All right. And then I'll print it because it's a return type function. Okay. Thereafter, what I do, I'll use over here file two dot my function. Okay. So you can see for file two it is showing error. Why it is showing error? Because I have not imported it, right? I have to import this thing file two comma file two. Okay. I'll save this thing. Now I'll execute it. Okay. So now is it showing some error? Let's say over here. Okay. It is showing package a dot file one is not having any function that is my function, right? Why is it showing? Because this file is not saved. You can see there is a dot over here. I need to save this file. Now again come back and then again try to execute it. Okay. So you can see when the first thing executed, this is an output from file one because of this, and then because of this we have a this is output from file two. Looks good. Now what I do, I'll create subpackage. Subpackage I'll create where within the packaging. Don't worry about it. This is just a file cache file which is created once you run the once you execute your code. Within package I'll create one more folder which is subpackage. Subpackage PAC. Subpackage A1. Okay. And then I create one more folder within package A which is subpackage A2. Okay. And thereafter, what I do within subpackage one, I'll create one file which is called init.py. Okay. And subpackage two also I'll create one file init.py. All right. Now here I'll do what, I'll create files. Let's say file 3.py. Okay. And in subpackage two, I'll create a file 4.py. Okay. Now I'll do what, I'll just write the code over here. Same code I'll copy that I created earlier. Okay, over here, file 3. This is the output from file 3. Okay, it is a part of subpackage A1. All right, I'll copy this thing, save this thing, go over here. It is a part of file 4.py. It is your output from file 4.py, which is a part of package E2. All right. Now I have to use subpackage. So again, I can go to test file and here I can write what from package A dot subpackage A1 import what file 3. Okay. And then again from package A dot subpackage A2 import file 4. I'll save this thing. Now, as I have imported these modules, file 3, file 4, so these modules I can easily trigger file 3 dot my function. Okay, I can print it. Then again I can print it. file 4 dot my function. All right. Now once I execute, I'll save this thing. Now see over here. This is the result of first two this is a result of files existing in package A, and these are the results of files existing in subpackage. So this was a very simple demonstration of packaging and modularizing your code. This will play a very important role in data science, machine learning, or any kind of development and operations. Next, I'll try to take example of the subpackage considering the e-commerce case study. After the packaging, we'll go for the PyTest part. Okay, and we'll see how can we write the PyTest, how can we use the PyTest module to write a test script for our Python script.